Ever stared at that Rogers bill, maybe let out a little sigh, and then just kept scrolling? You're not alone. Life gets busy, budgets get tight, and sometimes those recurring expenses can feel like they're on a different planet. But what really happens when that payment due date comes and goes, and you don't pay Rogers? That's the question we're diving deep into today. Forget the vague warnings and the slightly intimidating fine print. We're going to break down the step-by-step reality of what unfolds when you decide to, intentionally or unintentionally, skip out on your Rogers bill. It's not just about a late fee, it's a journey with increasing consequences that can impact your services, your wallet, and even your future financial health. Think of your Rogers account as a contract. You agree to pay for a service, whether it's blazing fast internet, crystal clear cable TV, or that essential mobile plan keeping you connected. Rogers, in turn, agrees to provide that service. When you don't hold up your end of the bargain, specifically the payment part, it sets off a chain reaction. The first domino to fall is almost always the late fee. It's usually a fixed amount, clearly outlined in your terms of service. This isn't meant to be punitive in a major way at this stage, it's more of a gentle nudge, a reminder that your payment is past due. You'll likely see this charge appear on your next bill. Ignoring it at this point, however, is where the real trouble begins. After a certain period of non-payment, Rogers will escalate their communication. Expect more than just a line item on your bill. You'll likely receive email reminders, text messages, and potentially even automated phone calls. These communications will become increasingly urgent, clearly stating the outstanding amount and the potential consequences of continued non-payment. They want to get your attention and encourage you to rectify the situation before more drastic measures are taken. Now, let's talk about service disruption. This is a significant turning point. Depending on how long your account remains unpaid, Rogers reserves the right to restrict or even suspend your services. Imagine your internet suddenly cutting out in the middle of a crucial work task, or your phone displaying that dreaded no service message. For many, these services are no longer luxuries but necessities for work, communication, and daily life. The inconvenience can be substantial. The timeline for service disruption can vary depending on Rogers' specific policies and your payment history. A first-time missed payment might grant you a bit more leeway than someone with a recurring history of late payments. However, don't count on an indefinite grace period. Rogers is a business, and they need to ensure they receive payment for the services they provide. If the initial suspension doesn't prompt a payment, the next step is often complete service termination. This means your account is closed, and you lose access to all Rogers services associated with that account. Getting your services reactivated after termination can be more complicated than simply paying the outstanding balance. You might need to go through a new application process, potentially pay a reconnection fee, and even face stricter payment terms in the future. Beyond the immediate impact on your services, non-payment can also affect your credit score. Rogers, like many other service providers, may report delinquent accounts to credit bureaus. A negative mark on your credit report can have long-lasting consequences, making it harder to obtain loans, mortgages, credit cards, and even rent an apartment in the future. Your credit score is a reflection of your financial responsibility, and consistently failing to pay your bills is a red flag for lenders. The length of time an unpaid debt remains on your credit report can vary depending on regulations, but it can be several years. This means a period of financial difficulty leading to unpaid Rogers bills could haunt your creditworthiness for a significant amount of time. Furthermore, Rogers has options for recovering the outstanding debt. They might engage their internal collections department to contact you and attempt to arrange a payment plan. These communications can become more persistent and demanding as the debt remains unpaid. If internal efforts are unsuccessful, Rogers may choose to sell your debt to a third-party collection agency. These agencies specialize in recovering outstanding debts and often employ more aggressive tactics. You might receive frequent phone calls and letters demanding payment. Dealing with collection agencies can be a stressful and unpleasant experience. In some cases, particularly for larger outstanding amounts, Rogers might even pursue legal action to recover the debt. This could involve taking you to court, obtaining a judgment against you, and potentially leading to wage garnishment or other legal means of recovering the funds owed. This is a serious escalation and can have significant legal and financial ramifications. It's important to remember that Rogers isn't actively trying to make your life difficult. They understand that financial challenges can arise. If you're struggling to pay your bill, the best course of action is to communicate with them proactively. Contact their customer service department as soon as possible to explain your situation and explore potential options. Rogers may be willing to work with you on a payment plan, allowing you to pay off the outstanding balance in smaller, more manageable installments. They might also be able to offer temporary assistance or discuss alternative service options that better fit your current budget. Open and honest communication is key to finding a resolution and avoiding the more severe consequences of non-payment. Ignoring the problem will only make it worse. The longer you wait, the more fees you might accrue, the longer your services will be disrupted, and the greater the potential negative impact on your credit score. Taking proactive steps, even if it feels uncomfortable, is always the better approach. So, what happens if you don't pay Rogers? It's a gradual but definite slide down a slippery slope. It starts with a late fee, progresses to service disruption and termination, potentially damages your credit score, and could even lead to collections and legal action. The consequences are real and can have a significant impact on your daily life and your future financial well-being. The key takeaway here isn't to scare you, but to inform you. Understanding the potential ramifications empowers you to take timely action if you find yourself in a situation where paying your Rogers bill is a challenge. Don't let it snowball. Reach out, communicate, and explore your options. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.